Hi, thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jessie Walters with Charles Ruttenberg. I've been licensed here for 15 years, and today we have some great guests with us. We have Michelle Southard from Housemaster, and we also have Diana Overland of the Suncoast SPCA. She's going to bring on one of her special dogs at the very end. And thanks so much for coming today. And we're going to talk to Michelle now. She's joining us. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
No problem. Yeah, so let me, I know it's Housemaster, and you're a home inspector, and you have a group of home inspectors based out of?
We are actually out of Plant City.
Plant City, okay.
But we do service all of the Tampa Bay area.
Okay.
Our policies, wherever you go, we'll go. So
okay, that's
we've been
awesome.
Down to Naples and over to
wow.
St. Augustine. Like to do those inspections on the weekend, you know.
Yeah,
so that
you can stay there, make a little mini vacation out of it.
Exactly. You know,
that sounds
get
good.
the best out of it. So
that's awesome. Well, I know that. So here you are, Plant City Home Inspections, done right, guaranteed.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, so a lot of people, as far as consumers, they want to know about home inspections. They want to know what they cover. Why should I have a home inspection? And as far as realtors go, it's not mandatory to have a home inspection.
correct, right.
But as far as realtors go, we will say, for your protection, get a home
Right.
inspection. And that's it's extra money. It's not included on your. For a buyer, they think sometimes it's in closing costs. It's not.
Right.
You have to pay that extra.
Right.
So a 2,000, just to give them an example, a 2,000 square foot home in Pasco County or in Pinellas County, how much would that be for?
Just that 2,000 is $410 to $435, depending on.
And then depending on what? Sorry, I cut you off.
Well, it's 2,000 to 2,500 square feet is $435, and below 2,000 just is $410.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, so around 400, and then now I know on a lot of them the pool is extra. So
we actually include a pool inspection, complimentary,
okay.
as well as irrigation inspections. We include those complimentary as well.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. Okay, so I know on the actual we have a actual home inspection report to kind of go over because a lot of I did a kind of a Facebook questionnaire for people, and a lot of their questions were. Do you check the structure as far, you're not engineers, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's more a visual, cracks, stuff like that, right?
Right. I mean, a standard home inspection is going to be the same regardless of where you go throughout the state of Florida. Every home inspector is supposed to inspect the same things to the same standards. Now, we go above and beyond those standards, but there are set things that you are required to look at, some things you're not required to look at, and that's spelled out in the home inspection standards.
Okay.
So, like a foundation, yes, we're just doing a visual assessment of, and that's very important for people to realize is that, we are limited in time and, space on, so we're only there for an hour and a half, 2 hours,
right? Whatever.
So we can only see what we can see at that time. It's a non-destructive testing,
right?
Just and visual.
You're referring that out then, right? If you're, for instance, if you do see something that's wrong, right?
Right. So if we do find something that's wrong or suspect, something might be an issue, then we will, refer that out to, a subcontractor for further evaluation that can do, maybe some destructive testing where they would need the, permission of the seller or something like that.
So how long have you guys been actually in business and stuff?
We opened our doors in 2008. That's what people, right when the market was going down. We got in and people thought we were crazy for getting in, but we've been rising.
Low overhead then, right? Set up was cheap.
You didn't want it cheap. Buy low, sell high.
Yeah. You're like, we went with that. Yeah. That's awesome. So 2008, so you've been doing it for quite a while. Is there any, what do you have to do to become a home inspector? Is there any?
Well, initially in the state of Florida, you did not have to have a license, but in 2011, I believe, they started requiring all home inspectors to have a license, and part of that is having 120 hours of classroom background education. And then you also have to do some performance based inspections to, qualify.
Right. Yeah. So in 2008, I was, obviously selling then. So
Right.
I would talk to people, and they were like handyman who just. I'm a home
Right.
inspector now, so it's
Right.
not like that anymore. Thank goodness. So you have to have
Right.
education behind you. So that's good. You're professionals. And you know what you're doing and what you're
Exactly.
looking at. Especially if you've been doing it since 2008.
Right.
So you've been in
Yeah.
there a while. So a lot of times people will say, "Well, I don't need a home inspection, but I need a 4-point. I need a insurance inspection."
Right.
And so what's the difference, you would say, between the two?
Well, an insurance inspection is such a 4-point inspection is basically just looking at the roof, the AC, the electrical system, and the plumbing system. And that's the insurance company's insurance policy to make sure the home is insurable. And that's usually required on homes older than 30 years.
Okay. And if you do it on newer, sometimes you get a discount, right?
Sometimes they do it on newer homes, for whatever reason, an insurance company might require it, but it's a much more limited, very narrow inspection of those
Right.
areas. When we do a home inspection, we are doing a much more thorough inspection. We're inspecting every electrical panel, we're inspecting outlets,
Right.
and whatnot. With the plumbing system, we're going to run for 15 minutes.
Right.
All the fixtures and look at everything.
Yeah, so the insurance inspection is fast, but it's more just for the for the insurance company to send that binder to your when you're
Right, and
getting
it's
that
more like to find
loan.
out what type of piping does the house have? Does it have old
Asbestos.
galvanized
Right.
pipe, or is it polybutylene, which is a no-no in the insurance world.
Right.
Those types of things. It's more for them to find out those and
Right,
see if the home is insurable.
Right, or a lot of times, I know with the older homes, like the 1960s, they have the panels,
Right,
that
fuse, right.
electrical, they have the fuse. If you see round fuses in your electrical panel, probably have to get
Not a good idea.
Yeah, yeah. There's some things. So I've sold houses to people, and I've sold their houses, and they said, when I bought this house, I didn't even know it was the difference between it being block and wood frame. And I got not a kick out of it, but I was kind of like, your realtor should have told you. But then you guys, home inspectors will actually tell you that the difference between the two. I can just tell, and most people in our business can tell just by the window frames, the
Right.
size, if
The
there's
size of
block or
window,
if there's
right.
wood.
Exactly.
But a lot of times people will just say, oh, it's a pretty house, I want to buy it. They
Right.
don't know it's wood. That a lot of realtors are new now in the business. They don't know if it's wood or if it,
Right.
like frame or cement
Right.
block either. But you guys go through that.
Right.
So,
Yes.
so say for instance, I'm an actual consumer, and I'm going to have you guys come out, so tell me the procedure, and let's go through. We have a report which we kind of put up here and there on there, but which kind of goes through of what you're going to check of the. So here we got one. This one we're checking. I think
Can't see that far.
the exterior of the exterior of the house. It's just like, I can't see it. Yeah, so that one shows the exterior, just kind of like you're taking pictures, and then you're noting if there's any dry rotted wood, anything like that around the actual fascias. Now this home that you have that you've given me for an example is a wood frame home, obviously.
Right.
And it's on piers, which means it's on cement blocks. So you're on that one, right?
Right.
Because I saw the other pictures, you guys were actually up underneath of it where you
Right,
could
we inspect the
go.
crawl space as
Right.
well, right.
Right. So as far as home inspections go, so you have the exterior, you're going to go around, check the fascia, you're going to check.
We're going to look at all the siding, we're going to look at the setting of the home, look and see how the, how the earth is, is it concave, or, you ideally want sloped against your house so that the water would run away from your house.
Right.
And curved in, one allows water to come in, but also could start to be indicators of maybe sinkhole activity or something like that.
Right, so you're gonna check for-
You're going to start looking for cracking and whatnot.
Right. And so like on this one, because it's wood frame, you would never see any cracking or anything like that in it. So you're going to check for like the downspouts, which way the water swells go,
Right.
stuff like that, which is something that a lot of people don't know that you guys actually check for, is like the runoff, if there's
Right.
problems with the, and you're going to note how to have it repaired too, you
Right.
know, which
Yes.
is handy.
Yeah,
'Cause-
any type of defect or issue, cause for concern, we're going to say what needs to be done to correct it, to, what's the issue, why it's an issue, and then how do you fix it. A lot
Right.
of people get freaked out, like say a roof repair, they think, oh my God, thousands of dollars. I'm like, it's just, a couple shingles, or you literally could just put some tar over the
Right.
over the
Some of-
nail head. It's
Yes.
just, some repairs are a lot easier
Yeah, than other
than
repairs.
others.
Right. Yeah. A lot of times I find that people, I call it a honey-do list more than a, because they're like, oh my gosh, there's like 15 things, but a lot of things are little, and a lot of things we live in our houses and we don't even know.
Right.
But you go to sell them, and we're going to give you,
Right.
this list.
Yes.
So we're going to narrow it down. So that's good. So when I walk into a house, we're going to start with the exterior. We're going to go, like you were saying, on the roof. If there's any roof repairs, we're going to go fascia. And then the runoff, the actual gutters, stuff like that. If you need gutters, they're going to suggest gutters.
Right.
If your gutter, the bottom falls off and it's spraying on the house, they're going to say to extend it out.
Right, to extend it away from the home so that
Right.
you get the water away from the foundation so it's not causing erosion.
Okay, and
of the
then
home.
sprinkler system too. You said that was complimentary.
Right, yes, we do an inspection of the sprinkler system. If it's installed, we'll test each zone manually, walk around the house, make sure each zone turns on, and notate any sprinkler heads that are malfunctioning and
Right.
whatnot.
Right, and now this report is, I want to say 41 pages. So, and you're there for hours, right? A couple of hours.
We always send 2 people, so
okay,
our
so you-
inspections go a little bit faster. And,
Yeah,
and we
that's-
also have a process that, we do every inspection the same way to make sure that we are thorough and we don't miss anything.
Right.
So just having that process down, it's just like,
Right.
it's on. So our average inspection is about an hour to hour and a half.
Okay.
Depending on the size of the home.
Okay,
And also whether or not it's on a slab home or if it has a crawl space.
Right.
Because that's, having a slab home is nice because that's,
Yeah,
I
less-
don't have to go in the crawl space.
Yeah. Yeah, who's going? You're the smallest one. You're going under. Yeah. Yeah, you have to be that person, right? You're like, okay, who's the tiniest one, But yeah, so I saw you guys even had pictures up under the crawl space and everything.
Right.
That's great. And
Yeah,
so,
we always take overview pictures of every space that we're going to do overview pictures of the house itself. We'll do exterior pictures, then we will do, if there are issues, then we'll take a zoom in close up of that issue.
right, and note it in the
and note
report.
it. And then we also kind of like to take a far back picture to show you, the location of that crack, on the right-hand side or
Right.
whatnot.
Right, exactly. So a lot of times, I know on the electrical, the air condition, the roof, like you're saying structurally, if you do see a problem, usually you refer that out, right, to someone who is, like, you'll say a professional in that business or contractor, or
Right,
licensed
we would
contractor.
recommend that somebody else take a look at it.
Right.
And sometimes we'll let you know whether or not, that's something that a handyman could fix or you need,
Right.
a certified roofer to do that or, an electrician
Right.
to do that.
Yeah, and depending on what it is, as far as when I get the contracts back, when I get the repairs, the request from if I have a seller and I have buyers send me the request and they get their home inspection back, they'll most likely, on my side, ask for a licensed electrician,
Right,
licensed
sure.
contractor, just so that they know that the work is done properly.
properly, right.
Yeah. So I know because some of the stuff I'm like, I could probably, I know it's really popular is the GFCI. Is it GFCI?
GFCI,
Yeah, in the kitchen, depending on when the house was built, they didn't have the GFCIs.
Right.
And so now that's a requirement. And they're like, oh my gosh, my seller, oh my gosh, I don't have CIs. Well, it wasn't required when you
Right,
purchased
when
your
they're-
home, and you're not going to know to update it. Now,
Well, the home's only required to be brought up to code if that circuit is going to be worked on. So,
Yeah.
the home doesn't necessarily have to have GFCIs
Yeah.
until I go to replace an outlet. Then
Right.
all of a sudden
Yeah.
I have to, bring it up to code.
Right, and they'll note it, in the wet areas, there was no GFCI. So as the buyers I have, it's like a red flag. Well, we need GFCIs. And I'm like, the GFCIs are like $25. Don't worry.
Right.
But it sounds so bad. I need a licensed electrician and 3 GFCIs,
Right. And
So-
it's you know, like I said, it's 20, 25 bucks and,
Yeah.
you know, a couple minutes to install.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I exaggerate a little bit. It's more than a couple minutes.
Yeah.
But, you know, 10, 15.
Yeah,
so,
for us, just to give
We're
give us a
pros. I'm
screwdriver.
very good at it, actually.
Yeah, I'll hold a screwdriver. You just go ahead. Yeah, so it's I mean, most of the stuff is minor. Sometimes I do see, you know, some big stuff, and obviously, you know, you
Sure.
do, and you have to be the bearer of the bad news on it. So,
Well, it depends on which side of the fence you're on.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know,
well, I'd rather, I mean, in my business, you know, you disclose, and disclose some more, and
Absolutely,
then you're
right.
covered. You don't ever want, you know, I don't know if you believe in karma, but I don't ever want
I
someone
do.
to purchase a home and I knew something, you know, I walk through and I'm like, there's a crack there and there's this there. And to the point where I don't even know if people will have me over for like parties because they know what I'm like. I tell them I'm going to come back and I promise I will not do that. If you guys have any cracks anywhere, if the air conditioner's sweating mold out of it,
I
I'm
won't
gonna
say,
say
oh my
nothing.
God.
Yeah, when I go in the bathroom, I'm not going to be like, there's a cracked tile on the floor here. I hope that's not
Oh
selling
my
it."
God, there's cracked tile in here. I cannot go in there.
Yeah, yeah. I was coming in here, but I'm not going to go in here anymore. That's it. I quit this whole party, everything. Yeah, so I told him I'm not going to be like that. But I literally got invited to an open house Saturday. So, and they have a whole new kitchen and everything.
Right.
So yeah, and I sold them the house. It's a gorgeous house, and we did have, it was a repaired sinkhole home.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was the first one ever I had the lender actually ask for an engineer to come back out.
Oh, right.
And I had to have an engineer come out and even though it was repaired, to say that it was actually up to par
Right,
and that it was,
done.
you
Right.
know, the lender was out of California, so and they said that's probably why, because Florida, we're used to repaired sinkhole homes.
Right.
But California, not so much. So they came out and then I never knew this, that if you have a repaired sinkhole home, they told me to look for the little cracks along the windows of glass. Like they said, in the corners of the windows, there'd be like crack. And if it's really bad, the sinkhole settlement patios will have little cracks.
Right.
And I never knew that before. And the one house I went to after that, I seen
Right.
little cracks. I was like, oh my gosh, now I'm a professional now. No, I'm just a realtor, but I notice everything, you know. So yeah, so that was the experience though, because he went around and told me, you know, of course the settlement, you know, which you can, a lot of homeowners, especially if they live there, they'll fill the cracks in,
Right.
repaint it. You
Right.
know, and it's and Florida is known for settlement.
Yeah,
and
you're
driveway
absolutely going to
settlement.
have, every home's going to have settlement. I
Yeah.
mean, brand new homes have settlement cracks. You know,
I mean,
with
that's
it,
why
yeah,
they
and
slice the concrete.
Exactly, it's trying to help
to make
minimize that.
Right, exactly.
But, you know, and they kind of say in the crack world that anything smaller than a quarter inch is of no concern, really.
Right.
You know,
yeah, if
that's
you could,
just,
the one guy told me, and I don't know if this is to be true, but if you could stick a nickel in it, then you're okay. But if it's bigger than, no, a dime. If you can stick a dime in it, it's okay. But you have to stick a nickel, then you have to think about the crack, you know, if it's a
right.
corner.
There's so many other different factors that you got to look at. You know, how long is it? You know, does it, right,
We're
you know,
gonna,
running?
We're going to cut just for a second, and we'll be
right.
right back with more
Is that
about home
5:40?
inspections. I know. Hi, we're back again. I'm Jessie Walters with Charles Ruttenberg, and I'm here today with Michelle Southard from Housemaster. I almost killed it. Housemaster.
Housemaster.
Master Blaster, Housemaster.
That's right.
So yeah, so she's back again to tell us all more, actually more about the home inspections, which I feel we could probably go on about home inspections for a couple hours because they do take a couple hours to go through. And then,
Right.
and then when you're done, it's not just done because there's usually a little repair list for the buyer, and
Right.
so it goes from there. So we were talking about just different things that were going on with the home inspections. We left off with, we were talking about engineering and referring, if the AC runs good. So how do you know most of the time if you're checking for an AC, what's your procedure when you go in the house? Like say the people are like, well, I know the serial number shows the year of the AC. Is it working efficiently? What do you do from there? Like what is your...
We are going to do temperature differential checks on the AC just to make sure that it's producing a minimum of 15 degrees.
Okay, so you have the thermostat.
So we're taking a
right?
thermostat, a temperature gun.
Oh, okay.
And we're
So
going to
you're
look at the input and the output, the return side and the supply side.
Right.
To make sure that
And then
it's
this one,
operating
you
properly.
literally looks like you took this one apart almost to check that one.
We do open and inspect on the air handler.
A lot
and look
of home inspectors I see do not do that. Just note to
Right.
self, for realtors are watching this, most home inspectors don't do that. They go around with the thermostats because I've gone to a million of them, and
Right.
and then they'll say, we suggest you to go to someone,
Right.
refer you out.
Refer you out, right.
Yeah, but they don't take it apart. So that's good to know that you guys took that.
And we do that. I mean, it's also, for our benefit, to cover our behinds.
Right.
I could have.
You're holding back. That's good.
That's right. I'm back, yeah. So, no, to look and see if the coils are dirty, because, depending on, you could have a brand new AC, and if that homeowner had a lot of pets,
Right.
the SPCA was just here, a lot of fur, which I have in my house,
Yeah.
then that gets into the filter, or if they didn't have a filter, it gets into the coil.
Right.
The coil gets extremely dirty. So we've seen some newer coils that have been, pretty gross.
Yeah, I think
and,
too, people don't know that they're supposed to take the filters out, maintain. They're not. They
Right.
just take it as in it's brand new, like you said.
Right. I didn't know how much people don't know about like
Yeah,
basic
you're
home
educating
basic
everybody.
home maintenance.
Yeah.
Yes, you're supposed to put a filter in here.
Yeah, and then some refrigerators too have filters. It's
Right. Mm-hmm.
amazing how many things: air conditioner, the refrigerator, some water systems.
And
right?
one thing on a AC to point out is actually there's a couple places that you can put filters in. You can put it. Some of them you can put it right at the AC, like underneath it.
Yeah, the return.
On the return side. Others it'll be on up in the ceiling.
Right.
Or the duct work or whatnot. But you want to make sure that you never double filter, because then that's going to make your AC work harder. You'd think,
okay.
you would think double filtering, it's got to be better, but
Right.
it makes
Just
sure
put one in at a
AC
time.
have to like suck
Really?
harder.
Oh, okay,
Right.
gotcha. So if you have two, you're saying don't put two filters in one.
Right. So
return.
one at the one
mean,
here and one in the ductwork
Okay,
as well.
gotcha.
So.
Yeah, too, I find like a lot of the newer homes, they have the filters. I mean, you have to have like a ladder, like the same person put your
I know,
Christmas lights
really.
up.
I'm 5'4". So,
Yeah.
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 Help me out here.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. So when I walk through again, I notice everything. So I'm like, there's your filter, and I don't know if that's a selling point or not. You're gonna, you're gonna have to get a 2-story ladder to get up there. Good luck with that.
Next house.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't see myself ever changing the filter in this one.
Ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, you're like, good luck with that. But so that's a big deal because again, the most expensive part of a house for me is going to be the AC
Right,
and the roof.
right.
So if we can see like a roof repair, it's a newer roof, but like you said, a couple shingles, a couple $100, you can deal with that. And the AC, could be 5,000-6,000, depending on how many square foot the house
Right,
is.
depending on the square
Yeah.
footage of the house, how many tons, how
Yeah.
big is the unit,
Right.
how expensive it is. So they're not cheap for sure.
So, and you guys actually get up in the attic. I saw the pictures of that too. You're up in the attic and you're
Right.
checking. So
Right.
yeah, there's some pictures there. So you're checking. What are you checking for there?
We are going to crawl throughout the attic. We're looking for any signs of moisture on the sheathing. We're looking for damaged or cracked trusses. We're looking for termite damage because we also do termite inspections
Okay.
with our, and
Right.
well, not included with our home inspection, but we also
extra.
do a termite inspection.
Right.
So we're looking at that. We're looking at the insulation levels. Just looking for any gaps to the outside where pests might be able to come in.
So I had one yesterday, and they had a squirrel.
Right.
And they said it looked like a squirrel. They'll love this that it's on this. And the inspector that she had hired, he said, well, I looked around the corner, I could see two little beady eyes looking at me. And I was like, oh, great. And they didn't, because you always wonder if your customer's going to freak out, but
Right.
it was a squirrel, not a rat. So I
Right.
think squirrels are better, So now we have to try to get the squirrel out of there, which is another whole nother
Right,
thing.
right.
But so that's good. So you're going to check all that, and then you're going to make suggestions if there's any problems, right?
Right. We did find a raccoon in
Oh,
the
okay.
attic once, and actually that was the cause of a ceiling stain. We were trying to determine if it was the roof, and we're like, it doesn't really look like a roof.
Yeah, it's an actual.
And so, yep.
Oh wow, that would be good because
We have
you'd
guest
be
quarters
relieved.
upstairs for the.
Yeah, you're like, what's cheaper, a roof or getting this raccoon out of there who's terrorizing the house? That's awesome. Yeah, so we've got from the top to the bottom, we're outside, check the fascia, we got the roof, we got the attic, and so now in the kitchen, what are we checking for in the kitchen?
We are going to, test all built-in appliances.
Right.
We do a check of the refrigerator, but we're not required to by home home inspection standards because it's considered, conveyable.
Right, not
It
part of the
doesn't go with the
house. Yeah,
house
it's not
necessarily.
But
But
so the
we'll do
dishwasher-
temperature checks on that.
Oh, okay.
We're checking all the outlets to see if they are GFCI and just to make sure that they are properly grounded, not reverse wired.
Right.
We're going to run the kitchen sink disposal. We're going to test that out, looking for leaks.
Right.
And like I said, we let the water run for at least 15 minutes at each fixture. We're going to fill the sink up and then let it go to see. And a lot of times that, you find leaks going that
Yeah.
way, which the homeowner wouldn't know that they actually had,
Yeah.
a gap in their pipe because they never filled the sink up or whatever. If you just have constant
Right.
running water without that mass pressure, you're not going to get a leak there.
Yeah, in fact, I showed a duplex this week and yesterday too. Actually, I was in Tampa and Newport Richey, and I showed a duplex. And the lady, that's how she found her leak. She said, "We only had one problem here," and she's like, "I filled up all my sink to do my dishes, and it caused this leak." And she said she was screaming, and so the neighbor came over to help her,
Right.
and so then he for some reason, he saw water coming out of the wall, so he kicked the wall in and put like a hole to let the water out. So it turned into from the sink being full of dishes to this, this thing coming out. I was like, why is there a hole in the wall? And she told me the whole story. And I was like, oh, I didn't,
Right.
Yeah, I never think that's a thing. But yeah, if you fill your sink up all the way, apparently that you can check a bunch of stuff, but be mentally prepared for what you're going to find out.
Yes, sometimes that's, yes.
Yeah. So she found out kind of the hard way, but that's all right. That's interesting. And two, when you were saying on the I know you check the dishwasher, I know you check the microwave, you're going to check the refrigerator, even though it's not, to home inspection standards,
Right.
you have to. You're going to check all those appliances.
Check the oven and everything.
The
right.
oven, and make sure every burner works, the temperature inside the oven gets
Right.
up. And then you're going to go around the whole house and check each electrical socket. too,
Every
right?
accessible outlet.
Right.
We're not required to move chairs or furniture around.
Right.
Not required to unplug appliances if the seller
Yeah, if
has stuff
it's
plugged
in.
in. But so we do a basic random sample, but we
Right.
try and check every outlet because we provide a guarantee on our service. So for our benefit, we're going to actually
Right.
check anything that is physically possible to.
Right, that's good to know. Yeah. So they're going to check when we were talking about electrical panels, they're going to check the electrical panel to make sure that it's not only to code, but it's also not defective, right? There's some electrical panels that are defective.
One, I do want to make sure, we don't inspect a code. We're not allowed to inspect a code because we're not certified code inspectors, but we do know what things might be an issue or concern.
Right.
But
on the 4-point, for
Right.
insurance, electrical panels can't be a certain age. So you're not really inspecting, you're like reporting, I guess, right?
Reporting, right. And
Maybe
that's
I'm
for the
using wrong
4
word.
point, that's really
Yeah.
just, a status, it's copper, it's this,
Yeah.
it's that, it's,
Right.
what it,
Yeah, here's the
What are the
electrical panel here. So
characteristics?
you're taking out, making sure they're not double tapped, but you're just doing like basic,
right,
right?
looking for any loose wiring, making sure the main breaker is suitable for that panel. Sometimes people put in a larger breaker than the panel can handle.
Right.
Which, you don't want that to happen because, that breaker is not going to trip until 200 amps, but this panel can only handle 100 amps,
Right.
so it's going to fry up the whole panel. So we're looking for things like that. Looking for, when homeowners sometimes do home repairs themselves, they just swap out breakers. Oh, here's a breaker, this one will do.
Yeah.
And it, might not be able to handle, or is, over protection, therefore it's not going to serve its purpose and
Right.
trip when it's needed.
I showed one, totally off subject, but I showed one, and we were going through and we're kind of doing like a little inspection just as we're walking through, and whether it's set up and how it is, and it was as is and blah blah blah. Anyway,
Right.
I opened up the closet and she's like, "It's the other realtor, so good because the electrical panel's right here with the water that comes in from Clearwater." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So it was like the electrical panel, the top was off of it, and there's like water coming in,
running, right.
and then the kitchen's right next to it. And it's gas. I was like, "I'm going to go outside. I'm going to go outside. You guys can stay."
I got the big trifecta here.
I was like, "Oh my goodness gracious! Yeah, if this house implodes," but it sold and it turned out good. But I get like worried when I see like open panels, water,
Right.
water leaks and electric. But that wasn't, like we were saying, 2 code, and you said, you're not up on. But that was how they built them in 1950s in
Right.
Clearwater. On the way to Clearwater Beach, so a lot of those have water coming into the houses and electrical panels sitting right,
Right next to them, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing what you see where you're like, that would not be allowed now. But
Right.
if you're buying a 1950s or 1960s house, the insurance company's not expecting it to be a 2020 house,
Right.
It's the same thing with the pool barriers. I know they changed the code. I think it was 2003 where you had to have the 2 barriers for the actual pools. So you had to have the lock up high,
Right.
and then you had to have the pool screen barriers too. Or that if you have a house you built in 1995, they don't have the little holes in for the pool barriers, So it's like, it's funny how things have changed as the house has gotten
Right.
gotten newer and stuff.
And there are different codes for different municipalities as
exactly.
well. So things can be more strict in one area and
Right.
and not in another. But yes,
Right, too. Yeah, and like add-ons, do you guys pull permits to see if people have done add-ons, or you just see the structure?
We do a permit check primarily to help us determine the roof age.
Right, right.
And then we find out that so much work is unpermitted.
Right.
And that's so if we see a converted garage, or, I suspect this was a previous garage and it's been converted.
Yeah.
And then I pull permits and there's
You can see-
nothing
right.
pulled. Yes, it may have been built well,
Right.
but without a permit, you can't confirm that. There's no checks on it. so.
Right, exactly. Right, yeah, and that's a good point, because when the appraiser, nothing to do with you, but when the appraiser comes out and sees this unpermitted room addition, a lot of times they won't use that as living square foot.
Right.
So if you're finding that out, telling these people, that's better than when they're there paying the appraisal fee, and the
Right.
appraiser goes out and says this is unpermitted work,
Right.
And so another thing too is, I don't know if people know this or not, but if you're purchasing a home and your realtor isn't sure if what year everything is, and the homeowner isn't sure, you can go on Pinellas County Property Appraiser, Hillsborough
Right.
County Property Appraiser, Pasco County Property Appraiser, and you can see if it shows it as how many square foot it has on there, and then you can go to their permit search and you can put the same address in, or the owner's last name, and find all the permitted work
Right.
too. So, and if you don't see it on there, then the chances are they didn't pull a permit on
Right.
it. And it doesn't mean that they didn't do a good job, like you said. It doesn't mean that you're not going to enjoy that extra enclosed garage that they are. It just
Right.
means that they may not have put the proper insulation.
Right.
It may be, in the wrong
May
flood
not,
area.
may not have GFCIs at
Right.
the sinks, and may not,
Yeah, it might not be to code, and you most likely will not get the value when the appraiser comes out
Right.
for it, which a lot of people don't know. It's like, until you're in purchasing the home, you don't actually know all the little things. But it sounds a lot and it sounds overwhelming. But at the end of the day, you're given a list to people to tell them this house is great, except you're going to have these little things.
Right.
And every home has little things, you know.
Every home has it.
Yeah.
I mean, we do inspections on new construction, and we find issues,
Right.
all the time. And not little ones, we find big ones, So,
Right.
I mean, we go into a home inspection. Ideally, I mean, it's your dream home. We don't want to find anything,
Right.
I mean, ideally, I want want you to be happy. But when we do find something,
You have to present it softly.
Yeah, present it. And, yeah.
Speaking of homes, I have 2 homes I just want to share real quick because we only got a couple minutes left. I have Lacey Drive, 12371 Lacey Drive. It is 329. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath located in Newport Richey. It's on Moon Lake, and it has a pool, which has just been resurfaced, a dock, pretty much everything you need to vacation at home. It's a great house. And that one's located in Newport Richey. Actually, I have to go out there and show it this afternoon. So hopefully I'll write a contract on it. It won't be available next week. But we did have a contract fall through, and that's why it's still available. It fell through due to financing. So it's back on the market. And then I also have, this is the living room. That one's, and this I have Surrey Bend, 15127 Surrey Bend. And that one's in Silverthorne Golf Community. It is a beautiful golf community. If you like golf carts, you can ride around there. Has great curb appeal, side entry, three car garage, formal dining, and then it has formal actual dining, like dining room areas too. Huge kitchen. It has the one bar area there where you can sit, and also the other side of that countertop you can sit there too. Korean counters, just great for entertaining. It's a huge room behind there too. Just a beautiful home. And that house is available. And again, that one the buyer's financing fell through. So some other buyer has a great opportunity now because the houses are just going so quick. And if anyone needs any buying and selling, my name is Jessie Walters. I'm with Charles Ruttenberg. And you can call me or send me a message on Facebook or Instagram or email me. I'm available. Or if you just have any questions about future sales or investments, just any general real estate questions, I'm here for you. And if you guys need a home inspector, we have House Masters. We're going to put up all her details, and we're going to actually they're out of Plant City. Yep, there's all the stuff on there, so you guys can talk to them too. The next segment I have coming up, we have the SPCA, and sit tight, and we can actually introduce you to a new dog that you could bring home for the holidays. And they have a bunch more that are all adoptable. This one's a senior, and he's coming on soon. But thanks so much for joining me today.
Well, thank you for having me. It was
No problem.
nice chatting.
Thanks for coming back. I'm Jessie Walters with Charles Ruttenberg. I'm here with Diana Oberland from the Suncoast SPCA with Wrigley. Did I kill your name again?
A little bit. That's okay. Come on,
Yeah,
Rig.
so Wrigley, you're on
You're on camera now.
Wrigley, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Wrigley says he's 10 years old. He's a Jack Russell mix, probably with a hound. He is very active for 10.
Yeah.
So don't think he's going to always want to lay around, but he is a snuggler for sure. He will do that, but he needs some exercise. Good walks. He plays fetch.
Yeah.
He loves love. He's just a good, look at this, see? He's like,
Yeah.
this is who I am.
Yeah.
Just a big love muffin.
And he's a senior, so he gets the discount
Yeah,
on the
he
senior.
gets the, yes, he does.
Right.
He's
That's
200.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so And then you were saying too, on Sundays, you have the senior discount for actual adults to adopt the seniors.
Oh,
Is
yeah,
that
but that's all the time. It's just not on Sundays.
Oh,
It's
okay.
all the time.
Oh,
We
okay,
apply
great.
the senior dog discount, senior discount, veterans discounts we
Oh,
do
that's
for the
good.
veterans. So, yeah, everybody. You want everybody to have a dog. They're good for the humans.
Right, exactly. And now where did he come from?
He came from Pasco County as a stray.
Okay.
And so they named him at Pasco County, and then we pulled him from Pasco County. 'Cause
Okay.
We do pretty well out here with seniors, although we're surprised he's still with us. But
Yeah, he's great.
yeah, he really is a very cool dog.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, so when you were talking about him and adoption, what is the actual procedure? I know we went over there
yeah.
we went over it last
Yep.
week, but tell us about it again.
Yeah, so you choose the dog that you're interested in, and then you spend a little time with them to make sure that he likes the family as well as they like him. And then we do an adoption application that they fill out. We might Google a few things, check you out on Facebook just to see that everything's looks pretty good. And then, yeah, then you pay your fee, and away he goes. You can go home the same day.
Okay, great.
And they're,
Okay.
again, vaccinated, completely vaccinated, spayed, neutered,
Okay, good.
chipped,
That's
all
good.
that good stuff.
So now is he, he's up to date on his shots. Is he able to go with cats or dogs or kids or what?
He's selective about his dog friends. I think he likes them to be more low-key, lower-key than, puppyish.
Right. Yeah, because he's full of energy for 10.
Yeah, but
I
he
don't
doesn't
think
want
he
anybody
knows.
that, yeah,
I don't
I
think
think
he
you're
knows
right.
he's a senior.
And then I don't think he does either. And then he'll just carry, like Smith.
Yeah.
He'll carry his ball around and try and play with others. But yeah, he can hang out with them, but he doesn't necessarily have to play with them. He's good individually.
Right, and now is Smith still available? We saw
He
him
is.
last week. He is, okay. So Smith was a great dog. He's
my
available
God.
still. He's 10 years old as well. So
Yep.
you get the senior discount, and if you're a senior, you get
You get a
double
se-
senior.
right.
You get a double.
Double discount.
Double. So tell us again, because I know it's that time of year for Christmas and stuff, about volunteering. I know you were saying that you're taking the fosters now, but the volunteering is going to next year. Is that right?
Yeah, probably beginning of January, we're going to start. COVID has changed everything, so we're going to start looking to calling our volunteers, going through a program so they can actually start, because we need them.
Yeah.
And it's been hard with COVID, only having a certain amount of people being able to be there with all the animals,
Right.
and they need more attention.
Right, exactly. So and also on your fosters, are you having them come into, come in, take them, then they take them home?
Right. So they come in, they find a dog that might interest them, that they can bring into their home, whatever fits their home situation. They'll fill out a foster application. The only thing, if it's just fostering, not foster to adopt, they can. The only thing is, if they're fostering on weekends or when we're open, they would need to, if there was an appointment for Wrigley, for instance, and he was in foster, they might need to bring him in if we have an appointment for someone to see him.
Oh, okay. Right. So you're
So they have to
taking
be
it
a
back.
little bit available,
Right.
when it comes to the times that we're open, so that these dogs can get seen.
Right.
But we also do foster to adopt, which is people making sure
Yeah,
that it's
that's-
going to be the right situation, maybe with their pets, their kids. You're going to do it at the shelter, but as we all know, different environment, your home's different
so you
than.
can do a test run if you want to do
Yes,
it. Oh, that's
so
a
to
good
speak,
idea.
yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you're going to bring them back and forth. So even though it's COVID and we have all those restrictions, right now it's a great time to bring them home, and you have all that time you're at home.
foster for Christmas,
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. And you're doing something nice. So I know in the actual, in your facility, you're in need of different things, and we talked about that last weekend too. So
Yes.
if I don't think we talked about just, do you have to make an appointment to drop it off, and what actually do you need?
It is by appointment. You can go online to the website, and they'll have, it's just like it's the same schedule as the meet and greets. You can put yourself in there to drop off donations.
Okay.
We're always in need of dog and cat food, Purina, Purina Pro Plan, chicken and rice. Cats are just regular Purina cat food. We always need food, towels. I'm trying to think.
Said
Toys.
cat litter, right? For
Yes,
the cats?
cat litter,
What'd you
lots
say,
of it.
no dust cat litter?
Yeah, dust-free cat litter.
Okay. That's good to know. Yeah, and so, and then the cleaning supplies.
Cleaning supplies always, yeah.
And-
So there's certain things that we always need, which is the foods, the treats, the toys, and then there's stuff that, we just need every now and then. So
Right.
we'll take a lot of stuff though, so
Okay.
make
and
that
you-
appointment.
And you're, with the toys, what is it, you have a certain toys or?
No, if they're able to get us sturdy toys, great, but beggars can't be choosers,
Yeah, right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll take anything and we'll accordingly, he might choose something up, so we'll give him something stronger, where someone might just want to carry it around, like Smith, and,
Right, exactly. So now when Smith comes out and Wrigley comes out, they're chipped as well, right?
Correct.
Do you guys do anything like that extra? Like say, if I just got a dog, do you guys have services like that, or is it just only for your dogs that you guys?
It's really
chip
for
and stuff?
our dogs, because most people, if they're going to want to chip their personal dog, they're going to go to their vet.
Right.
If it was bought, at a breeder or something, they'll want to go to their vet and do it.
Right.
Where all
Okay.
shelters have them there.
So he's chipped and he's neutered and he's all up to date on his shots.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
ready to roll. He's ready to be someone's Christmas present.
Yeah, he just needs a bow.
He does, a red bow,
He's like,
he
don't get me
says.
excited. Yeah, I know. I'm like the worst with. I know. Don't bring
get
out the
him
worst.
excited.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, don't have eye contact with them. Yeah.
Good boy.
So, now the other question I had was, so for instance, I know like we were talking about last week too, a lot of people are actually, they're giving up their dogs. You guys just don't take any dogs. They have to be up to date on their shots.
Correct.
Everything has to be up to date. Do they have to be neutered and too, or just up to date on their shots?
Yeah,
If you're gonna-
really everything, because we're going to put them into our population, so we want to make sure that they're ready
Healthy.
to go, and we don't have to, if you're surrendering, that's your expense.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're going to do that.
Yeah, and if you love your dog and want him to have a good future, and you're in the position where you can't take him,
Right, exactly. And, we'll take good care of them while we have them, and we'll work hard to find the right home for them.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it would be the owner's responsibility to make sure those things are done before they come to our shelter. And then
Right. Yeah,
we'll-
because I saw the sign out there. It's no, you're not allowed to just leave your pet there. You have to.
And that happens.
Yeah, it's sad. Yeah, so you have to make sure that you have an appointment and bring your dog in if you're going to surrender them. I mean, of course, we hope that you wouldn't do that, but if you
Right.
do. Don't just don't just
Don't
take
tie
him
'em
for
to the
the
fence.
yeah. Don't tie him to the fence. Don't take him for a ride. Do the right thing and
Yes,
make an appointment.
yes.
Make sure he's up to date on the shots.
Yes.
And so you have a good life, like Mr.
Right, exactly.
Wrigley here. Wrigley, are you being camera shy? Yeah. So
He's like, no, you were scratching my butt, and I liked it.
yeah, that's his thing right there. Yeah. So how many pets do you guys have in there right now? Like how many dogs and cats?
Well,
For
I think we
adoption?
have like maybe around 12 or 11 dogs right now for adoption, and then we have a bunch of kittens.
Okay.
We have male kittens that will be ready to go, I think, this Thursday, and then we have a group of female kittens that we need to get
Yes.
shake that we need to get spayed neutered, and then they will be ready to roll too.
Okay. So, and do you have any puppies, or just they're all full-grown
puppies,
dogs right
yeah.
now? Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a lot for. So if people are looking for Christmas presents for,
Exactly.
Yeah.
You would be a great one.
he's a hugger.
He is. He's a hugger. He likes to kiss.
Yeah.
Oh my!
I
Oh,
think
you're
you need to
throwing
take
it on.
him. Yeah. He's like, what about?
He's
please
like,
take me
I'm
home."
going to take advantage of this fame thing.
He's not camera shy at all. If you
Hard
need
not
any
to love
extras
him.
for any movies, you've got him.
Need a date?
Yeah, it's right here.
Oh,
Oh,
Jesus.
goodness, be careful.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
There
really
you go.
great. You're great.
He is.
Yeah, he's cute. So kittens, how much are kittens are they to
Kittens
adopt?
are 125.
125. Okay. And they're spayed or neutered. They're all ready to
Yes,
go when you
they
get
will
them.
be ready to go. Yes.
And then I know that they come in different blocks of shots. So do you set the appointment up to have that extra
right.
the next
Because
shot?
they get boosters and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, we actually will arrange that and make sure that they're getting all the kitten shots that they need before.
Okay.
Yes. But they can go home, and then we can arrange that with our vet.
Okay, and here's some other dogs that you guys have up on there too. There's Parker,
Oh yeah,
Benjamin.
Benjamin.
Aw.
Very
Yeah.
yes. They're amazing.
Oh.
They're all amazing.
Yeah. This one's
People
so
just
sweet.
need to give them a chance. And you know what I have to say is, especially with our dogs, don't judge them in the kennel. You know what I mean? Some of them don't like that barrier, and what
Yeah.
you see is not who they are at
Right,
all.
exactly.
Like the second you bring them outside, you're like, oh, that was the dog I just saw behind the kennel door. Nope. They're completely different. So,
Yeah.
and unless you're going to have them in jail at your house,
Yeah, exactly.
it's not going to be an issue. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And we find a lot of people don't want to see dogs because of the behavior they may have seen behind the.
Yeah. What would you do
barrier.
if you were locked up and, if you're
That's
used
what
to
you
roaming,
say all the time. If you were in jail, like,
yeah.
that's
it's like
what
all
it
of
would
us
be
with
like.
the COVID. We're not used to being inside
Yes,
the house. We
inside.
get out. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
Everybody's
I
getting a
know,
little
and we're
crazy.
crazed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, true.
So them too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I know I have, like I was saying last week too, that I have one that I got from the SPCA from you guys,
Mm-hmm.
and he acts like a maniac behind the front door. If the UPS guy comes, he's a psycho. Postman, he's a psycho. But if I open the door, he wags his tail. So they just are like,
It's
he's
the barrier.
bipolar. Yeah.
It's the barrier.
It's true. Yeah. So I definitely see that.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's Jack Russell, maybe? Jack
Yeah, I
Russell
think
and
he's
Hound?
like Jack Russell and Hound, because obviously his size doesn't agree with
Yeah,
Jack Russell.
His personality does, though.
Totally, and
If
his
I pick
face
up this
does.
ball, you'll see that
Oh,
he's
yeah.
a Jack Russell. What is that? What is that?
Mine. He said,
What is
that's
that?
mine.
Yeah, so he's adoptable. I mean, he would be a great Christmas present. If
Oh,
I
for
bring him home,
real?
my husband will kill me, so I can't bring you home. I know.
So he won't be yours this
Yeah.
year, but he can be yours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there is a lot of great ones out there. I mean, it's to me, it's like mind-boggling. If I had them at my house I know some of them lose their dogs or some relocate, but I could never imagine taking a family dog and giving them up, But it's great that you guys give them another chance at life with another family.
Right. There are always circumstances that none of us understand
Yeah,
that are
exactly.
legit in their own way. And
Yeah.
in the end, our job is to do our best to care for them and make sure they go to the best homes that they can.
Right, exactly. So if you are giving up your dog, they're not going to judge you, but
Right.
you just have to have the dog up for shots and
Yep.
stuff. And the same with the cats too.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I know some like with the COVID, a lot of people are downsizing, having to go to apartment complexes, stuff like that, where dogs, you have to pay an extra pet deposit.
You
or
have
can't-
size restriction,
Right.
breed restriction. Same with these HOAs for some people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They have a lot of size and breed restrictions, which is so unfortunate.
Yeah,
Especially
exactly.
the breed thing. Because
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
and it's a lot of
about
that's
that.
how you raise them.
It is.
Yeah.
Just like your kids.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a whole nother show. But I don't think we have time
That's
for
a
that
different
right here.
Tuesday.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
Wrigley's over here having a good time.
Yeah, he's having fun. He's flinging it. So the Purina dog chow, is Purina dog chow for the cats?
Purina Pro Plan.
Pro Plan, okay.
Chicken and rice.
Okay.
And Purina Cat Chow. Purina Cat Chow for the cats, and Kitten
Okay.
Chow too for the
Yeah, okay.
kittens. Toys, cleaning supplies. Yeah.
Right.
That's the stuff we always need.
And you were saying too, like towels and blankets, I think.
Yeah,
too?
towels. You know what? Stick with towels. I was told the other day, let's stay away from blankets for now. Same with sheets and stuff, which I think a lot of the shelters are doing.
Right.
Even though we wash it, they don't want people always having to touch it because of COVID. So, but the towels are good.
Right. It's funny because he was like looking
So
straight in the
cute, right?
camera. That's what I was thinking. Maybe you found your little niche here. Maybe you're going to be a
look at
star
that
after this.
face.
Yeah. He's so pretty.
Oh my gosh, he's such
Pretty
a
enough
good
to be a
boy.
girl. I thought you were a girl.
Right. And then
Yeah.
you said, I'm not. I'm Wrigley, the
Yeah.
handsome boy.
So you think he'd be okay in an apartment or a house, or what do you think as far as size and stuff? Like where best to?
Because he's active, I think he still wants to, if someone's living in an apartment, if they're willing to still walk him
Take
a
him-
good walk a couple
Yeah.
times a day and play fetch with him,
Yeah.
I think he would be good.
He does like the fetch a lot. Don't you?
Yeah.
Like the
He
ball.
likes to carry, he's very much like Smith, where he
Yeah.
likes to have a toy with him.
Yeah, it would be nice for Smith and him to go together.
I know, and they hang out sometimes in the yard. So.
I could see them playing together, having a good time.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
The little senior group.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Let me cover your ears. You're a senior. Yeah, he has no
Only in
idea.
age,
Yeah,
only
he has
in
no
age.
idea. He's like,
No.
I love it when you cover my ears. Okay. All right,
Let's
buddy.
go. Come on.
All right.
Good boy.
All right. Yeah,
Good
so he's
boy.
great. So yeah, so if you guys want any information on him, you can even call the Suncoast SPCA and just let them know. And it's the one on Congress in
Right.
Port Richey,
Right.
and they can give you any information on him or send you the paperwork on him. And if you do have another dog, you'll have to bring that dog
Yes.
in to make sure they're compatible together. Let them hang out a little bit.
Right.
And I was saying last time too, when I went to adopt, I didn't know that, so I just went in, and they're like, "Nope, go get your dog and bring
Right.
it back." So I
Same
did.
with the family, if there's young kids too, just to make
Yeah.
sure. Some of our dogs, even though they're really nice, because of their size, they don't realize that they're big and they might not knock a child over, which
Right.
might upset somebody,
Yeah.
the parent. So we want to make sure that that doesn't happen.
Yeah, we don't want tough love with the
No,
dogs.
exactly. We're trying to avoid that.
Toughen
Good
up your
boy.
kids.
That's right. They should be okay being knocked over like from a dog like
a
you,
dog,
right?
Yeah, it's a good way to toughen up your kid for the holidays.
That's right.
I'm only kidding. You have to find the right fit for each family.
That's
but this
right.
one is a
And
lover.
there is one.
He's really
Oh
sweet
my
and
God,
stuff.
look at him.
Yeah, he's leaning on thick right now.
Oh,
So
big time. You're not coming home with me though.
yeah, yeah, he's great.
I would love it, but you
And
can't.
Smith is still,
He's still available. Oh my gosh, we have so many. You guys just have to come in, make an appointment. And actually on Saturdays, we open the gates from 12 to 4.
Okay, and you're still doing that right now?
Yes.
Okay. So
So-
12 to 4 on Saturday, if you want to just visit and see Wrigley and see what he looks like.
See his friends and
yeah.
all his available friends.
Yeah.
He would love it.
Yeah, he would like some visitors. And
He's
hanging
ready
out
to go
and stuff.
home right now.
Yeah, he is. He is actually, yeah. Yeah, so, well, thanks so much for coming in. I always appreciate
course.
seeing you, and I know you're going to be back
Oh, yeah.
next week to bring in another one. Hopefully, we'll hear good news about Wrigley.
Right,
he'll be-
and Smith, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully next time you guys are both in your
be
home.
adopted out. That'd be great. Yeah, so
Okay.
we're going to be next week. We're going to have Sarah from Barrett and Harding, Sarah Vandekar from Barrett and Harding Insurance, and she's going to help me go over with a bunch of insurance questions too. Thanks so much for joining us, and have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.